Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are hitting State Forest 70. Now as you can see I forgot to film an intro before this, so I'm doing it after the fact, judging by the dirty rig behind me. You can also probably see my winch hook and winch rope on the bull bar. This is a future sign of what's to come. We would like to call this track New Zealand's $1,000 track, purely because over this one weekend alone we've probably done close to $5,000 worth of damage on all the cars combined. We've had broken diffs, we've had broken axles, we've had broken winch ropes, we've had dents here, there and everywhere. It was one hell of a trip. Normally this track is quite a difficult track to do during the dry, but we decided that we'd go right after a rainstorm and heavy winds, and then also negative temperatures. So it was one hell of a challenge. Because we knew we were hitting this track right after a rainstorm, I decided I wanted to get a little bit of extra protection on this thing. So a couple of days before that we went to the guys at Bush Proven. We got some scrub bars fitted up and welded to the rock sliders. This just to give us a little bit of extra protection because I knew I'd be hitting some banks on the way. Little do I know how many banks I'd be hitting on the way. These things got a workout. Still look exactly the same as we put them in, minus a bit of paint. But yeah, let's cut to the video and show you guys what this was all about. So, here's our crew for the weekend. We decided to camp at the start of the track, allowing for a full weekend of adventure and fun. However, little did we know it was going to be quite the crispy morning, as you can hear in the next few clips. So, this morning for breakfast, we are having bacon, egg, taco bits. So, we'll see how these go. I've heard they're good, so figured it's worth a try. Now, these actually came out a treat. They're super easy to make, super affordable, and the missus loved them, so I can't complain at all. After fording through what felt like an endless river, we made it to a little track which brought us to the bottom of fence line track. Now this immediately posed us with a challenge, being rain ruts. This was a good sign of what was to come, as the whole fence line track was full of them. Another thing to note, throughout this video you'll hear that the GU has a little bit of a squeal coming from the engine bay. This is because it actually has a very common fault with the ZD known as a warped manifold. So it actually broke two studs and warped the manifold, so it was just squealing out the gasket. This has since been fixed, so don't worry about that in future videos. Anyway though, here we are at the bottom of fence line track. Up in the front though we have Simon in his Land Rover, followed by me and the patrol and the rest of the crew behind. And listen to that thing roar. Now this is actually the first feature of the track. It's normally pretty drivable, but this time the rain has just rutted it out like crazy.
That's really ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a track here last time, like 2 weeks ago.
We can dig this down behind him and he can get a bit of fun in.
Do you want to dig it out a bit?
I haven't been there, well.
Very wisely, Simon opted to use the winch to pull himself up to allow us to get some shovels in to get the other cars through. Chuck your front locker in a bit. A little bit more. You got about a meter. You got about a meter of winch rope. Should we reposition? You've bellied.
Do you want to go first, and then we'll shovel the rest? I'm not gonna.
Get back to work! Get back to work! For me? Now just a bit of a warning, the squeal is quite loud in this clip when I give it a go up the hill. Good thing you've got some push-proven rock sliders right here. Now I thought I gave it a good old go, but the rear of this thing is just a little bit too heavy and slid in the hole. So, time for a recovery. Snatch out 3 ton.
We're close to 3.5 at the moment.
Not bad. Not bad. Now it's time for the other rigs to show us how it's done.
Does he have lockers?
It turned out that this vehicle doesn't quite yet have lockers, so it struggled a little bit here under full articulation with the wheel catching on the bumper. However, after a bit of digging, we got him through.
Yes!
Woohoo!
It's out of my pockets.
Do you want it in? Go Jamo! Go Jamo! Yay!
Now this bit of the track was actually where the problem started for us. If you watch these next few attempts, you'll see exactly what I'm meaning. Yup, our first broken axle. Now we didn't actually know at this point, but he'd also broken something in the rear end, meaning he had no drive whatsoever.
Is his front locker on?
So, it turns out we've landed ourselves in a bit of a predicament. We have broken the front passenger CV and the rear right axle. So currently the vehicle's a little bit beached out and we have only two-wheel drive on opposite corners. So couldn't find a more appropriate sticker for this situation.
Oh, fucking hell. It's this. It's in the centre. It's the centre. There might be a spline.
Yeah.
But that centre just went clonk. CV's just gone kaput.
Is kaput the professional terminology?
Kaput? It's kaput.
Oh yeah.
You replace the airbags.
Do not let him hold the brake
Jamo.
No.
Is this just New Zealand's $1,000 track?
Yeah, I think so at this point.
Bad track to be a CV.
That's not what you said last night, Emily. I wasn't even counted last night.
Yeah, no, you weren't even.
I wasn't a mechanic last night.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Where is she broken? Not at that end.
In the boot.
Oh
yeah. There's nothing left in that bad boy. Okay. Big enough? You don't mind about your...
No, that's what they're for, mate. It's not actually what they're for, but it's what they're for today.
Yeah.
As I say, if you don't want to fuck up a brand new tool shed ones, you can fuck.
Oh, it shed the spline off.
Oh, that's bad.
Holy shit. Because you don't have that part, do you?
No.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I'm really glad that they take
it was the other side.
I would have blown the others.
Okay guys, so bit of an update. We have AA coming, so we have now got to get this Land Rover back down the fence line track, as he's got no drive. So I'm going to be towing him through most of this, which is going to be a challenge, all the way down to the start, and we've got 50 minutes to do it. So yeah, let's get to it and see how this goes. Now I actually forgot to get some clips towing the Land Rover back out of there, but we made it before the tow truck arrived, so woohoo! Update number 3, we're heading back in to catch up with the others. Simon's on a tow truck on his way home. So, I want to do a petition to rename Fenceline Track into CV Hill, because every time we've come up here recently, we've broken a CV on various vehicles. So, yeah. Meanwhile, whilst we were catching up, the others soldiered on through the rest of the track up to the top of Fenceline. They had quite the challenge ahead of them and ended up doing a lot of digging.
Want me to keep telling you?
But
thought I heard.
Yeah, you're not beheaded.
Thanks to those hard efforts digging though, we made it up super easy, so now down through the tree tunnels to meet with the others at the bottom.
It's fine, it's just the warning. Oh, it's unzipped.
Oh, is it? The awning?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know, it's fine.
What's your thoughts, Toby?
It's pretty cold, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, nah, fully.
A lot of digging, a lot more digging than driving.
We've
done so much digging.
Yeah, we'll go that line then.
Recovery strap for the Nissan. Bloody Nissans.
Finishing off our day though, we had a few gully crossings and hill climbs which ultimately will lead us to the bog hole that this track is known for. Fucking A! So, we made it to the bog hole. However, we have lost sunlight, so we've decided that we're going to park at the top of the bog and tackle it in the morning. But for now, we are doing dinner. So, for on the menu tonight, we had chicken carbonara from Backcountry. We got these cheap from Torpedo 7 as they closed down, so never had these before, so we'll see how these go. These went down like a treat. They were like having a home-cooked meal on the road. If any of you guys are curious to try one, I highly recommend it. Just pour in some boiling water, let it sit, bam, there's your meal. Or you can be like these guys and try to cook steaks over a fire to then set the steaks on fire.
Oh, you big.
Throughout the night, the temperatures dropped and dropped for us to have a nice, crispy morning. We were pretty warm through the night until we rolled over and realized that the side of our pillows had actually frozen along with the side of the tent. Turns out, we saw -3-degree temperatures, which was the coldest day we've had in the North Island this year. Frozen socks and funny faces, we knew one thing for sure. We need to get that fire going.
I promise that isn't what it looks like.
Turns out we weren't the only ones feeling the cold. A few of the vehicles were as well.
First pop up is so crazy.
So you both
Shout out to that starter motor, that thing kept going like a champ. But Toby, I think it's time for some new glow plugs, buddy. It's got fuel in there, that's for sure.
Oh, that's still out.
Give it some throttle! Time for some well-deserved hot jockeys. But first, we have a problem.
Option 2.
That sounded like there's a lot of ice in there.
That's a bad person. Flips everyone off.
I wanna. Dang, it's still filming.
Morning update is fucking cold.
It's fucking cold.
Everything's frozen. The inside of our chili bins were warmer than the outsides. We got all the trucks running now though, so the next clip right now is going to be a safari on gate going straight into a bog, and it's going to go.
That's your prediction?
Yeah, he's going to make it. He's going to make it all of like not far. This one's got rocks in it, mate. Yeah.
So, the sun's just come out. And now the tent is drip drying slowly, so we're just going to leave that up for a little bit whilst everything defrosts and then go from there. Alrighty, here's the bog hole. So we're just trying to figure out what line to take. It's looking like that right line's a little bit of a better line. There is a B line as well, but we're going to send a safari through, basically the bush truck of the group, and assess from there, because not all of us want broken parts. So pre-bog report.
Yeah, just getting pre-game warm up. Just getting excited.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get in there. We're gonna put the foot down. We're gonna better ourselves, inspire future generations, and just chase greatness, really.
Yeah. Fully agree.
So I think I'm just gonna hop in and I'm just gonna actually just drive it.
Yeah. No, you'll go
I don't
straight out.
know why Matt's over there getting the winch ready.
Nah, you'll be sweet, bro. You'll be sweet.
I think he's just preying on my downfall.
Yeah. Following that attempt, the exits were now vertical, so the rest of us opted to go around.
What are we thinking?
This is very different to last time we came up.
We'll put it in wide angle.
These ruts were not here at all. So we're gonna have to straddle this carefully and try not to belly out the truck, because that's gonna be. The other issue as well is this is rock solid, so we can't dig it out. Not till the sun hits it anyway.
It's really solid.
Yeah, might play to our advantage though. Hopefully.
If there's heaps of traction.
Just hope that it crumbling in fills it in.
Send it.
Just fucking send it. Just nose into it and just see what happens, I guess. Yeah.
I'll chuck them a winch on freeze ball.
Yeah, probably a good idea. We got a winch rope at the top that was good enough to hold up Noah, so that means in his head that it's, if it's rated to 1 Noah, it's rated to a 3.5 ton patrol. Does that check out?
Maybe.
Holy, let's see what happens here.
Turns out the ground being frozen did not play in our favour. It was like driving on concrete covered in stones. It just was super slippery. So we ended up opting for the shovels, filling in the tracks and giving it a good sand. In-car update. I am currently wedged in a rut halfway up this climb. So we have found a winch anchor at the top, thankfully, thanks to someone who's been here previously. So we're going to try winch to that and just drag the GU up. So, like a good day wheeling. Now in this clip you'll notice that we didn't end up using a winch blanket. This was a huge mistake and luckily we got away with it. However, I just want to preface, if you're ever winching, please put a winch blanket on. It'll just stop that rope coming back at you and possibly hurting someone. Following that, we then retied the winch rope and tried doing a double line pull with a few of the snatch straps that we had lying in the trucks. This didn't end up working, so what we ended up doing was filling in a few of the holes and giving it a good old go. This worked pretty well until I fell into a rut, which happened to be right by the winch anchor, so I could not go forward. That meant I needed to get pulled backwards, so we sent the SAF up. This was then followed with a rather large bang and a drive shaft on the floor. Yeah, we had a few more issues on our hands. Thankfully though, he made it just far enough to pull me backwards, which then meant I could give the top one more go and then give him a pull up. This rope snapping again was when we found out we had a bigger problem on our hands. The rear diff and the GQ had completely locked up. The pinion that had snapped off had fallen in and started binding, so we had to then dead drag the GQ all the way up the hill.
Hour 5, just rolling on. We camped there, and we've run out of winch rope.
Yeah, I've snapped it twice today.
2 snapped winch ropes, 1 snapped diff.
Yep.
In the midst of recovering.
What a day.
Reckon we're gonna get out by dark?
I hope so.
What do you reckon the rest of the track's gonna look like?
Judging by what we've been through, it's gonna be
Shit.
gonna be a day's worth. A hidden bonus of that diff being locked up meant that the rest of the track had been ploughed, so hopefully this will make it easier for the rest of the cars to make it up and make our day a little bit less long. Seeing the issues we've been through, the others did not hold back. while. There she goes.
Don't need this anymore?
And brake clean and something. Hey! It warmed it up. It worked! After clearing the bead and reseating the tyre, it was time for the last part of the track. Very soon, night fell, and our main focus was to get these vehicles out.
Oh, whoa! Ho, 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 ho! Hang tight.
From this point on though, we were nearing the end of the track, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Cheers!